Welcome to Entertainment Weekly's Comic-Con studio. I'm Sam Heifel, and I'm joined by so many members of the Midnight Club. Mike, I want to start with you, though, because Christopher Pike's work, how long has this been something is this been something you've been thinking about for a while?
Oh yeah, this is something I've wanted to do since I was a kid. So I started reading Christopher Pike when I was probably a little too young to be reading Christopher Pike.
Sure.
And I felt like I was getting away with something.
Yeah.
But I started to try to write a script for the Midnight Club when I was in college.
Oh,
and
wow.
I wrote a whole script. It was going to be a feature film. I was real excited about it. And I was putting together a big investment package to try to get friends and family to invest in this movie. And I got in touch with the publishers, and I said, I can't wait to embark on this. Can I have your permission? And they said, cease and desist and destroy all copies of the script you didn't have permission to adapt. And so I very sheepishly destroyed them all. And now we're here. So it all came back around.
And it took you until now to garner the courage to do it again?
Yes, yes. And who's laughing now? Simon and Tristan.
That's right. Okay, wait. I have a follow-up, which is, did you go back and read, or did you literally destroy that script? I'm curious if
It's
you've
gone.
read it.
It's
Okay.
gone forever. Yeah, I was good. I was so
think that's
afraid of being
unfortunate.
sued. Yeah, I got rid of
Yeah.
all the copies.
That would have been a great thing to go back and reference as you, although you wrote in, I don't know, maybe you were a phenomenal writer in college. I was not.
Absolutely not.
Okay, so was this, I have to imagine, a Zoom casting scenario? Obviously, you've worked with quite a few of these actors, but for you all, was this Zoom casted? I'll throw that to you.
Zoom casted.
I'm making that a word.
Yeah, Zoom casting. I've not heard that before. That's awesome.
I've made it up.
I've worked with a few of these wonderful actors before, but most of these actors are new to me and now family. Like this is an amazing group. For some of you, it was their first job. For others, they've been working in TV and film, and this is just the first time with us. But yes, this cast came together very, very quickly, very organically.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a lot of self-tapes and Zooms.
Yeah. What is that like for the actors? The Zoom process. What does that do to auditions?
Well, for me personally, I felt like, well, Mike, you wrote me some notes. You wrote me a page of notes, and it was so helpful for me. Usually, you just send it in, and it goes into the void, and you don't hear back ever. But I got a call back, and then I remember we all met with Mike individually. Right? Is that correct? I don't know. But y'all did. We met with Mike, and we're all green and new to it all, and you trusted us right off the back. And I remember being why? I just remember saying something about I want to make you proud, and you were like, you already did. Aww. And I'm guys. But it was that was my experience, and it was lovely, and I was met with tons of trust and support and love right off immediately. So yeah.
Well, now the question is, did anyone not get a one-on-one with Mike?
This is going to get awkward.
Yeah.
Well, I think I took about 14 or 16 hours to do my tape because I was so worried that I couldn't deliver this very nice monologue in one shot. And so I would get 99% done with it and then flub the last word and so start it over again. So I did it probably 50 or 60 times before I got it, to a point where I felt proud enough to send it to Mike Flanagan. I mean, it was very nerve-wracking.
The funny part about that is that, Heather Langenkamp is royalty.
Yeah.
So the tape at that point's a formality.
Right.
We could have cut through
Now
all
you
of
tell me. Now you're telling me.
Well, Heather, I do want to ask, because you're coming back to acting. What was it about this project that made you want to do that?
Well, I've wanted to find a part for so long. I mean, I'm blessed by having had the chance to play Nancy Thompson, which is such an iconic role. So it had to be a really good role. It had to be one that I knew I would be saying in the future, oh, I'm Georgina Stanton. It had to be that good of a role, and I really feel like it was. I love my part so much.
I told you we screened Dream Warriors in the writer's room.
That's correct.
At the beginning.
Yeah,
of
I
the
did
row.
notice some
Yeah.
similarities there.
It was
Interesting.
very influential.
Okay, so we're dealing with kind of individual ghost stories, correct, for each of these vignettes. Are we officially calling them vignettes?
We in the writers' room we called them B stories.
These stories, okay.
Yeah, and it's ghosts, it's cyborgs, it's aliens, it's demons, it's serial killers. It's they're kind of drawn from so many other Christopher Pike books. It's kind of you can do almost anything that he did, and he wrote 80 books. So there's a lot we can do.
Yeah. Who gets aliens? Can I know that? Am I allowed to know that?
That's a spoiler.
Okay. Dang it. Well, what can we preview, like, because everyone has their own, right, theoretically? Can we preview everyone's? Are we allowed to do that? Yeah. Okay, let's go down the line.
Oh my goodness, okay. What do you want to know? I mean, I think my B story, I always say my character, she's very rooted in her faith, and sometimes that gets in the way of her connecting with the group. And I think when they tell the stories, it's kind of like therapy. And they can talk about things that are hard to talk about in a way that is digestible and easy to speak about, in like a scary story or a ghost story. So yeah.
Pass the mic.
I would say for Ilanka's character, kind of piggybacking off of what Inara was saying, it's like a lot of the things that she's dealing with in real life and in real time is kind of being told through this vessel of her story, and you'll have to tune in. I'm not going to say too much.
Cyborgs. Cyborgs, Terminator, VCRs.
I love it. It's like a
Yeah.
word puzzle.
That's what I've got for you.
All right.
That's your mic.
Cheers.
You can keep it.
But yeah, for my episode, it was based on, and I'm hoping this is open news, but Road to Nowhere by Christopher Pike. And honestly, this story is very, very personal to Natsuki. I don't want to divulge too much, but she's basically on the run from something. So she's on the road and picks up two hitchhikers who might not seem how you think they might be.
You mean hitchhikers aren't like traditionally trustworthy?
I mean,
These hitchhikers are sketchy.
What a twist.
I have the pleasure of playing a character from Christopher Pike's The Wicked Heart, and he's a very nice guy. He's quite loved in school, and I think you'll be very excited to see the wonderful adventures he goes on. None of that was true.
For Amesh, I love his B story. I think you get to see a completely different side of him, and it's beautiful and it's wholesome, and all I can say is he gets the girl and he saves the world. Yep.
Love it.
Well, Cherie will have stories coming, but you guys are going to have to wait and see. For all of that. Yeah.
I'm a ballet dancer in mine. When my dad saw the trailer, he was like, "Whose legs are those?" So it was. You kind of just threw me up onto a stage, and I was just there, and I was like, "We good?" But yeah, it's about a story about how a girl that kind of wanted everything, and because she was a bit greedy, she ended up with nothing. It's a good story.
Well, for those of you who've worked with Mike and Trevor and all these guys before, how did this experience differ? Did it differ for you guys?
Go ahead.
It did. It definitely differed. It was, a different environment on set. It's a youthful cast, and that was definitely different.
A lot of music all the time.
Oh my goodness, yes, we were obsessed with music in the green room. When we were doing Midnight Mass, it was Cards in the green room was our go-to. But then, of course, there were things that were the same. We got to work with the same wonderful crew for the most part. So it felt like coming back home, which was that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah, just basically the same as him. Like every time we came to set, it was like you get to see people that you saw before working on Midnight Mass, and then you get to meet a bunch of new lovely people who you get to learn to love, and everyone's family now.
I worked
yeah,
with
go
Mike
ahead.
and Trevor on Blind Manor, and the big difference was we got to be with each other on Blind Manor.
Yeah.
And then for this, we were on Zoom the entire time. I think we were like the first Zoom room to get up and running for Netflix in April of 2020. So yeah, we didn't get to see each other at all until we were on set, and then we realized wow, we haven't seen each other in years.
Working together every day.
Literally.
Yeah, working
We
together
hadn't
every day,
seen each
but
other in
not
years.
seeing each other for years.
Yeah. I'm going to end on potentially a weird question, but it's one I really have. There are no spoilers, but there's like some jump scares in the show. How do you act out a jump scare? Like, is someone genuinely kind of like scaring you?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, you guys. How do you act out a jump scare? I mean, so much of it, it's not about me, but more so like the editing and you know the crew, the timing, everything is all about that. But all I have to do is just pop out. All I have to do is jump and scare people. It's really not that. Just screaming, lots of screaming. It's pretty weird contortions. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think we need to clarify that not all of the jump scares happened on camera, and Io was responsible for all of them that did not happen on camera.
Just about to say the same thing.
Guilty.
Okay, actually, I'm going to end on another weird question for you, which is, do you audition screams? I've always wondered this. Whenever I see someone on screen, I'm like, they have a great scream. I'm like, I wonder if that was part of the audition. Or do you just hope they do?
It's never occurred to me that we could do that. Maybe we should.
You could make people scream.
I think we should start.
Yeah,
Worked out pretty well with Io.
We pretty much though, because even when Aya had to scream like hundreds of times in one particular shoot day, we will only use the scream once or twice, and then we ask the actor to save it because we can always just copy and paste it in post and put it on there. So if someone didn't have a great scream, I suppose we could always replace it. Which could be really fun.
volunteer.
Yeah? Scream queen.
I did not get to do enough
Heather
screaming in this. At one night we did some screaming, but
I missed that. I do.
Amazing. All right, well, thank you guys for stopping through, and everybody else, stay tuned to EW.com.